Welcome to another episode of Music Therapy. I'm John, your resident therapist, and today we are listening to Other Side by MACKLEMORE. Please be sure to like, subscribe, comment, and drop the next song you want to see me react to in the comments below. And let's get right into it.
Oh girl, this boat is sinking. There's no sea left for me. And how the sky gets heavy when you are underneath it. Oh, I want to sail away from here. And God, He came down, 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 and said down, 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 down.
What an eerie intro. You can just see the horror and the shock on their faces, just like how apathetic and or astutely concerned they are about whatever's going on.
Down, 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 and said down, 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 down.
He rolled up, asked him what he was sipping on. Said lean. You wanna hit it, dog? That's the same stuff Wheezy sipping, And tons of other rappers that be spitting hard. Yeah, he had fiber bone. And when I passed him that styrofoam, the Easter pink heard it rhyme before I finally got to see what all the hype was on. And then he took a sip, sitting in the Lincoln, thinking he was pippin' as he listened to the system. Little did he know that it was just as addictive as bass. Not the kind of hit from the kick drum. Hot box, let the bass bump. Take it to the face, go. Months later the use went up. Every blunt was accompanied by the pink stuff. But goddamn, you love that feeling. Purple rain coated in the throat, just so healing. Medicine alleviate the sickness. Liquid to fix them, it comes with the cost. Wake up, cold sweat, scratching, itching. Try to escape the skin that barely fit him. Gone, get another bottle just to get a couple swallows. Headed towards the bottom, couldn't get off it. Didn't even think he had a problem, though he couldn't sleep without getting nauseous.
Yeah, lean promethazine for long term and lean colloquially is super scary, and it is so romanticized by all of these rappers, all of these artists, acting like it's the cure all, end all, be all of drugs, and it's absolutely not. I mean, it leads to just chronic slowing of the breath. Hey, come here. Don't be fighting. You're okay. They love to play. Oh my gosh. But yeah, it slows your heart rate down, makes you so you like feel really good for that moment, but then you get nauseous when you're not on it, so that it creates this cycle of dependency, and it's really scary. So this is so real, just how the media and rap just leads to people using drugs that they're not totally familiar with, and then getting addicted and dependent on it, and then struggling to escape that cycle.
Ain't the sickness, liquid to fix them, it comes with the cost. Wake up, cold sweat, scratching, itching. Try to escape the skin that barely fit him. Gone, get another bottle just to get a couple swallows. Headed towards the bottom, couldn't get off it. Didn't even think he had a problem, though he couldn't sleep without getting nauseous. Room spinning, thinking he might have sipped just a little bit too much of that cough syrup. His eyelids closed shut, sat back in the chair clutching that cup. Girlfriend came in a couple hours later, said his name shook him, but he never got up. Never got up.
Wow, so losing someone to addiction, I'm sure we all have to some degree, and it is so heartbreaking, especially when they have so much potential and so much life to give, and they die so young, and it is so hard to witness as a friend, family member, a therapist. It's really doesn't discriminate, right? It will affect you no matter your race, your socioeconomic class, how much money you have in the bank, your sexual orientation. It does not care about any of that. If you have that addictive personality, then odds are you need to stay away from addictive substances. Otherwise, it just amplifies to an exponential degree.
Never got up. We live on the cusp of death, thinking that it won't be us. It won't be us.
Wow, look at those eyes. And it won't be us, absolutely.
It won't be us. It won't be us. Nah, it won't be us.
Oh girl, this boat is sinking. There's no sea left for me. And how the sky gets heavy when you are underneath it. Oh.
Wow, so he's grieving a little bit. The sky gets heavy when you're underneath it. When you're in heaven, I am grieving. I am feeling my emotions because I wish you were here. And what a relatable feeling that is.
I want to sail away from here. And God came down, 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 and sat down, 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 nothing.
He just wanted to act like them. He just wanted to rap like him. Us as rappers underestimate the power and the effects that we have on these kids.
Abso-freaking-lutely, because we learn primarily through social learning, aka imitating other people. And if we think a rapper's really cool and we see him smoking weed, drinking, using promethazine, using oxys, using meth, then odds are those kids will imitate that behavior in order to emulate those desired traits. And it is so hard to sustainably use those addictive drugs and use it in a healthy way. It's nearly impossible, unless you're like clinically supervised, using it in the hospital setting. But it is really hard, and it's so romanticized. And I'm glad now people have more awareness around fentanyl, because it was dropping people, like 100,000 people in the U.S. per year, which is astronomical. And thankfully, we're on the decline. Hopefully, the descent of that peak.
Blunt past, ash in the tin, pack being pushed, harassed by the feds. The fact of it is, most people that rap like this talking about some shit they haven't lived.
Yes, they're trying to sell something they haven't even done themselves because they're phony.
Surprise, you know the drill. Trapped in a box, decline record sales. Follow the formula, violence, drugs, and sex sells. So we try to sound like someone else. This is not Californication. There's no way to glorify this pavement. Syrup, Percocet, hit an eighth a day will leave you broke, depressed, and emotionally vacant. Despite how Lil Wayne lives, it's not conducive to being creative.
Yes. Great point. So drugs will absolutely lead you to a reduction in empathy and a reduction in emotional regulation. It will lead you to being numb over time, and not overall, but just in those moments when you're high or drunk, it numbs you. But then when you wake up the next morning, you're more neurotic, more emotionally unstable, because you're using something to modulate your emotional state that isn't healthy and sustainable. So of course you're going to get hooked on it because it has so many instant benefits, but we often prioritize the instant benefits of drugs over the long-term consequences because we're so desperate. We feel like it's such a relief that we need in that moment in time. And yeah, it's interesting. I like what he said. It's not conducive to being creative. I remember when I was growing up, there was this wave of psychedelics and so many people using it to act like they're connecting with the world, to create music, to create art. And I haven't yet met anyone who's created something beautiful from being on psychedelics. It's really hard because one of the key elements of psychedelics is that the experience is indescribable. So how are you going to create something beautiful when you can't describe it? It's just kind of funny.
Or by this pavement, syrup, Percocet, hit an eighth a day will leave you broke, depressed, and emotionally vacant. Despite how Lil Wayne lives, it's not conducive to being creative. And I know cause he's my favorite, and I know cause I was off that same mix. Rationalize the shit that I try after I listen to Dedication. But
what a cool image right here.
Mix, rationalize the shit that I try.
Like to think that these trees were once giant, lush, beautiful trees, and now they're just completely overtaken by water. And that kind of symbolizes addiction in some way, because we are, what once was a beautiful life that we had gets overtaken by something else and consumed by something else, and we lose everything else for that one thing. And so water kind of represents the addiction here, and just how it overtook and it killed the life out of these trees.
After I listen to Dedication, but he's an alien. I'd sip that shit, pass out, or play PlayStation. Months later I'm in the same place, no music made, feeling like a failure. And trust me, it's not dope to be 25 and move back to your parents' basement. I see my people's dreams.
I like how he's talking about the other side of addiction here, and that is, it's not always making music, becoming famous, becoming successful. It's actually being broke, depressed, emotionally vacant, moving back to mom and dad's basement, because that's really what happens. I've worked with so many people, and the other side of addiction needs to be more exposed out in the public eye, because if you hear about it all just being good and great all the time, then everyone's going to want to do it. But if you hear about the other side, the darker side of addiction, then odds are it'll even out that teeter-totter to the point of not wanting to engage in that behavior, because it is so self-destructive, not only to you, but your loved ones, your relationship with the world, your relationship with yourself. All of these things are just down the drain in active addiction.
It's not dope to be 25 and move back to your parents' basement. I seen my people's dreams die. I seen what they can be denied. And weed's not a drug, that's denial. Groundhog Day life repeat each time. I seen Oxycontin take 3 lives. I grew up with them, we used to cheat dimes. I seen cocaine bring out the demons inside. Cheating in line, friendship cease, no peace in the mind. Stealing and take anything to fix the pieces inside. Broken, hopeless, headed nowhere. Only motivation for what the dealers.
Wow. So he's lost friends to Oxy. He's seen cocaine bring out the demons inside. And yeah, and weed is absolutely a drug. I mean, you can't deny pharmacologically that it is a drug. It is a psychedelic. It alters your state. And people talk about California sober, smoking weed, and being sober. I think sobriety comes from not using anything to modulate your physiological state or mental state, and it's kind of a purist definition. But of course, you know, people who smoke weed who've gotten off like heroin are obviously better off for using weed than heroin, but I think it still is a crutch to some degree. And I like how he's using the death here of some of his closest friends in order to propel him forward in his recovery journey.
Cotton take 3 lives. I grew up with them, we used to cheat dimes. I seen cocaine bring out the demons inside. Cheating in line, friendship cease, no peace in the mind. Stealing and take anything to fix the pieces inside. Broken, hopeless, headed nowhere. Only motivation for what the dealer's supplying. That rush, that drug, that dope. Those pills, that crumb, that roach. Thinking I will never do that, not that drug. Growing up, nobody ever does. Until you're stuck, looking in the mirror like I can't believe what I become. Swore I was gonna be someone, and growing up everyone always does.
He's right. It's a slippery slope. And if you have that addictive personality, that slip will become a slide quickly. And whether you started on like, you know, weed or alcohol, it will quickly descend and spiral you down into the pit of, you know, deep alcoholism or, you know, opiate or meth use. And it is just so scary, so quick, and it can just take the reins of your life so quickly. And it really, addiction is losing everything else for one thing, and that's that drug of choice. Where recovery is getting everything back for giving up one thing, your drug of choice.
What I become, swore I was gonna be someone, and growing up everyone always does. We sell our dreams and our potential to escape through that buzz. Just keep me up, Hollywood, here we come.
Wow, so it looks like he overdosed there in the bathroom.
Just keep me up, Hollywood.
Yeah, oh, this is emotional. Like, to think that he was an active addiction and now he's given such a light for those people in it himself. I can't imagine a world without Macklemore and his contribution to the recovery world, whether that's politically advocating, social awareness, making amazing raps and melodies related to recovery. You know, I think all of us in addiction have an ability to heal each other and heal ourselves. And so when we, you know, lose someone, it's just a loss, because like their potential, their life, their goals are all just completely gone. And yeah, it's hard to process.
Here we come.
Wow, what an incredibly beautiful song. I wish they called it The Real Side, or instead of Other Side, because it really is so true that this is what the consequences of addictions are, like death, overdose, losing friends, living in your parents' basement, being broke, you know, like being emotionally stunted. All these things are synonymous with addiction, and I think if that got more publicity, then people wouldn't use as much. People wouldn't seek out these dangerous substances at the expense of themselves, their family, their relationships, everything in their life. What an incredible song. I'm emotional just watching that. What an incredible recommendation. I absolutely love Macklemore. Really a great voice in the recovery community of rap and Hollywood and all of the big wigs out there. But thank you so much for watching another episode of Music Therapy. Please be sure to like, subscribe, comment, and I look forward to seeing you in the next Music Therapy episode.